Hey, good evening. Welcome to All or Nothing podcast. And I know it's been a while since we've been with you guys, but we're back. Um, Glad to be back. Summer's been great to both of us. This young lady has been doing big things. One day she'll announce and talk about what she's been doing. She's got a Marvel shirt on, Mrs. Marvel today. So,
Yeah.
I'm just upset that, as usual, uh, they're destroying Marvel.
Uh,
Yeah,
whole nother-
Disney and them guys don't know what they're doing with Marvel. Anybody that's into comics understand exactly what I'm talking about. And as they say, until they do right by Wesley Snipes, they're
fair,
gonna have a bunch of running of bad luck.
fair point.
So it's been a while, like I said,
Hey.
and
Yeah.
so what's been going on?
Life, life. Well, back in July, I had COVID, and that was the first reason why we were like,
Yeah,
okay, I can't do anything.
and then I moved.
Then you
I moved, which the transition of moving has been very easy.
good.
And I always try to tell people, live the life that you want to
Hmm.
live the life that you strive for.
Yeah,
And when I mean I have a total
good.
peace of mind, I've had it for about 8 years, but
Okay,
I really got peace of mind now.
good. I'm glad.
Pretty decent neighborhood, pretty decent neighbors. Grew up with a front porch, got a front porch now. A
Awesome.
lot of people may not understand the significance of a person that grew up with a front porch and how you
Yeah.
just sit out there and, as kids, we used to actually fall asleep on our front porch.
Mm, nice.
So, to have that experience again,
Yeah.
to work for that experience is, it's a struggle, but it is what it is, and I
But you
can't
did it.
complain about life.
Awesome. Congratulations. I'm glad.
Appreciate that. So tonight's conversation, interesting conversation we are going to have.
Yeah, I'm excited
It
about this.
is it is it is episode 5. And we're going to have a conversation on what makes a good partner. And
Yeah.
Viv and myself, for everybody that's watching, we're having this conversation because when you have these type of conversations, you want people that may have different perspectives. I know a lot of people got red flags, they got what they call deal breakers.
Hmm.
So this is the beginning of a maybe bigger and broader topic
Yeah.
that we will probably discuss in further episodes. But we're just gonna just do some surface level stuff,
Hmm.
but are important. So, what
Yeah.
makes a good partner?
What makes a good partner? What are your initial thoughts on that, Q? What for
My
you? Like
my
when you think
my my initial thought is to understand that this person is not your enemy.
Okay.
And the reason why is because, unfortunately, and I'm gonna say a broader stuff of what I wanted to say.
Okay. Hmm.
If you're looking for a good partner or you want a good partner, the first thing I would suggest everybody is to get all of the garbage. And I know that I'm crazy for saying this because we have a podcast and we're talking about it,
Hmm.
but don't listen to nothing on social media.
Hmm.
Because
Okay.
social media has a lot of times, upset, angry people who may just be regurgitating situations that they themselves are not in.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of content creators, and I'm not attacking all of them, a lot of them just be talking. And
Mm-hmm.
they're really not trying to get to the root of
Yeah.
why some of us are bitter, why some of
Mm-hmm.
us can't find that person.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think when you feel like you're looking for someone, get all that garbage out of your head and
Yeah.
and
I
and,
agree.
and, and, and realize, be the person that you want someone else. You want someone to be loving. You
Mm-hmm.
want someone to be loyal.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take them through this stuff. We see all this stuff. People be testing people. Well, is he gonna hold the door open for me? I mean, you may have grew up in a home whose father went out his way, held the door, does all the driving. Wife may have a license, but she might have never drove.
Never different. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he may be a gentleman, but
Mm-hmm.
he may not do that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be vice versa. She may be like, "Nah, I got this. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm used to carrying my bags. I'm used to doing this."
Yeah.
So those quote unquote those type of red flags and deal breaks, I try to tell myself and other people, get that stuff out there hitting and get to know the person.
Mm-hmm.
Get to know the person um, for who they are, not even who you want them to be. Like you, sometimes you can meet somebody and you could be like, okay, they nice looking,
Mm-hmm.
they seem super dope, so
Mm-hmm.
you may throw them on a pedestal,
Yeah. That's
and
the
so your expectation of that person may be super high.
It's super high.
So
Yeah.
now, when you start to see who they are, whether those things are shortcomings to you or not, they may not be shortcomings to that person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll just say, from a man's perspective, some women may not, for example, she might not can't wear a certain perfume
Okay.
because it might break her out. So
Mm-hmm.
he may be a man that loves perfume, loves her to
Okay.
smell super good.
Mm-hmm.
So she may be a woman that just don't wear perfume.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd be like, be smelling like, Victoria. Like, you won't go to
Yeah.
Vicky? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I believe Victoria's Secret stuff got some aphrodisiac stuff up in. So what I mean is, what makes a good partner, in my opinion, some of the things is to just expect, not expect, but accept the person for who they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You meet a guy, you meet a female, and don't excuse me, don't have all these weird
Not
expectations. Like,
weird.
and I say that because we sometimes we having unrealistic expectations. You meet a guy and he may be like, I'm into I'm a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
So now already he's not home a lot.
Right.
Say if he's over the road.
Mm-hmm.
He does a lot of traveling, but his traveling is working. His
Mm-hmm.
traveling is not like, we gonna, me and my girls gonna shoot to LA, we gonna
Right. Right.
shoot to
Right. Yeah.
Vegas. So his way of thinking of traveling is like, he ain't trying to do all that. When he come home, 9 times out of 10, he home for 4 or 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
He just probably just want to lay up
Yeah.
and rest and recalibrate.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times, a lot of us, and when you see it now, and I say this from somebody who is a proponent of the nuclear family,
Mm-hmm.
um, a lot of us are missing out. Not saying that people don't want to be single. If you want to be single, you want to be single.
Mm-hmm.
But those that don't want to be single,
Mm-hmm.
I believe they're missing out because they're coming with unrealistic expectations.
Okay. So let's talk about that for a second. Let's stop there because this is a layered topic. I'm glad you brought that up. So what in general, what do you label as unrealistic
What
expectations?
what I
I
what
know
I
you
mean
do
what I
on a
mean is what I
private
mean
level,
is
but
you
yeah.
you meet a guy
Hmm.
and surface level,
Hmm.
everything about him checks the boxes. Nice looking guy,
Okay.
very well spoken.
Hmm.
He appears to know how to treat you.
Hmm.
When y'all together,
Hmm.
the the times are great.
Okay.
So now it's time to try to partner up.
Okay.
But you see that he's not. Maybe he's the type of guy that takes 2 hours to get dressed, and
Okay.
you be like, "Oh God, this guy take too long."
Hmm.
Like I'm gonna just say for me, I've dealt with women that really take some time to get
Okay.
dressed,
Hmm.
and they run late.
Okay.
And at one point in my dating life, this one particular female, we used to argue a lot
Hmm.
over her running late
Okay.
until I realized, like, yo, in order for me to make this work,
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to suck it up.
Okay.
And what I mean by suck it up is that I expected her to be a certain way with her time
Okay.
and not run late. My expectation was too high of her in time and how I am. Like, look, you tell
Okay.
me 7 o'clock, I'm gonna be there at 6:45. I'm gonna
Okay.
prepare. I'm
Hmm.
gonna do everything to be there early,
Hmm.
as they say. Be ready so you don't have to stay. Get ready. You know the
Yeah. Yeah.
phrase you
Yeah.
might say.
Yeah. Stay ready, so you have to get ready. Yeah.
So for me, that's the expectation sometimes as dating or in a relationship that we put on people. We put all our stuff, all the
Hmm.
way we move,
Hmm.
on the person that we're interested in. Instead of saying like all of that way we move, the way
Hmm.
we act, the way we think, you ain't me.
No, and that's fair.
You,
So what I will say to that is this, right? I think that is it's okay to have your expectation. If being punctual is important to you, there's nothing in the world wrong with that, right? Now, like you said, you have a decision to make then. It's, am I going to allow the fact that this woman, who might be great in all other areas, isn't punctual? Am I going to allow that to make us split, or is it something I'm going to compromise on? So I think that that is the decision we have to make sometimes. Like, are there things that we can negotiate on and compromise on? So I don't think that's an unrealistic expectation. Yes, if you stood firm and just said, I'm going to argue with this woman for the rest of our relationship because she needs to learn to be on time, that's unrealistic, right? But you have a right to want to be on time.
yeah.
If you can
So
flow with it,
so
then cool.
I think that in hindsight, even with all the arguments that we used to have, like
Hmm.
now, I'm not saying I would ever date her again because
Okay.
both of us have definitely moved on.
Okay.
But when you meet people like that,
Hmm.
even coworkers, I'll be honest with you, like you know how they say relationships be baggage.
Hmm.
That was baggage in one way. Now I know everybody's not going to be punctual.
Okay. Yeah.
Everybody, like even when I go to work, I go to work. I get there early. You know, I'm not expecting nobody to be there early. I won't call
Okay.
you and be like, "Where you at?" I'll wait till the time that you're supposed to be there and be like, "Yo,"
That's smart. Yes.
you know what I mean? And the reason why I say that is because that coincides with you. What I believe making a good partner is you want to be understanding.
Hmm. I
You
think it's
want to really stop trying to be understood and understand. Like not be on guard, be
hmm.
testy. Like really get to know that person. You
Hmm.
know, there used to be a thing, and people in the chat when they watch this, they'll be able to. They used to always say that if a woman is never comfortable if she don't fart around you,
Okay.
or you be with a woman and she ever use the bathroom around you? Number
Right.
two,
Right.
right?
Right.
So but you want people to really when you are courting them, you want
Hmm.
to really digging them, you want them to be comfortable.
Yes.
You want
I
them to
agree.
be layered. I remember one time, this is like 21 confessions here.
I'm
I remember
noticing.
one time, I was in a relationship and I knew if I told this person something,
Okay.
it would end the relationship.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
And they eventually found out.
Okay.
And I said I couldn't. You know what I mean? It
Hmm.
wasn't nothing major for those that think it might have
Okay.
been nothing major, but it was major to this person. It was
Okay.
it was a deal breaker for this particular
For that
person.
person. Got you. Okay.
So sometimes you don't want to tell people your
Hard.
insecurities. You
That's
may
fair.
be you may have an insecurity
Hmm.
that be super insecure in one
Hmm.
area, and you know that that person will look at you like that
Yeah.
ain't nothing.
Hmm. Hmm.
But to really get to be able to be like have a good partner, you got to be able to be like share those things, share
Yeah.
those. You know, you got insecurities like
Hmm.
I don't like feeling vulnerable. I don't feel like feeling what makes like for men, a man may feel like if he's not in a financial position in life, he
Hmm.
may feel like his manhood is like he don't feel worthy. So I would think for most men they probably don't do it now, or hopefully they do it,
Hmm.
but that's big.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
some men have been in situations where once they do let their guard down, the stuff that they do tell the person that they're with, it gets weaponized.
Yes.
You
That
know
can
what I
happen.
mean? And I
Hmm.
don't want to go too far off it because that's a whole nother
That's a whole
discussion.
nother that we're gonna have
But
one day we're gonna
you
do a
know,
topic on that.
I really think just having a good partner is just being able to be honest, to be open, to I mean, the worst case scenario when you meet somebody and you're interested in them and they're interested in you, if you do say something that's a red flag,
Hmm.
they gonna friend zone you.
Yeah.
I
Probably.
think I think that's one of the things that stops a lot of people from being open. Don't
Hmm.
Most people don't want to get friend zoned. Most people don't want to say certain things to be like, damn,
Yeah.
I blow it. Did I
Right.
tell him too much? Did I tell her
Right.
too much about me? Like,
But at the end of the day, I mean, I personally don't feel like, from me, from my perspective, as someone who's kind of like dating now, right? And I don't even like dating, but that's a whole nother thing. But who's trying her hand at dating, like I want you to be. You can tell me, because then it allows me to make an informed decision. I'm not going to judge you. It might not be for me, but I'd rather like I don't like the fake getting to know you stage. Like I'm like, give me the
but
real.
see, but
That's what I want.
see now, even when we had these discussions, right? Me knowing a little bit about your personality,
Hmm.
you're such an introvert
Yes.
that a person won't know if they said the wrong thing. It could just be you being who you are and be like,
That's
you know,
fair.
like you meet a guy and how you meet people and you
Mhm,
tell them be like, I'm an introvert. I dance to my own beat.
mhm,
There's nothing wrong.
mhm,
This is how I move.
mhm,
I might be spontaneous with my attention.
mhm,
I hear you. I hear you. You
mhm,
told me that, but I'm
mhm,
really not listening to you.
mhm.
I hear you. I'm like, yeah, I understand. I understand. But yo, I'm gonna call you later.
And I might not pick up
Yeah,
the phone,
and
but okay.
that right there, for most people, not for most, I won't say for most, a person may take that as rejection. Like,
But so
did I
the
say
thing with
something at the
me
wrong
though,
thing?
the thing with me is I'm very upfront about the fact I don't like talking on the phone. So I let everybody know that. So like if you're trying to get to know me, you will text me first. If you're not cool with that, then that's okay, and we cannot get to know each other. I'm dead ass. I tell I've been oh I don't talk on the phone just so you know. So we got to text first. Now if we get to a certain point, and I'm like, all right, we can take it to a phone conversation and cool.
Yeah.
But I just let people know. So it's not going. You're not going to be blindsided by that with me. Oh, you'll know ahead. You're not going to talk to me until I want to talk.
And
And
that's and that is key because
yeah.
a lot of times like I said, when it comes to I think dating, I don't think a lot of times people have patience. They want what they
Agreed.
want when they want it. They
Hmm.
might have a set time.
Yeah.
Like, damn, man, like, we've been hollering at each other for 4 months. Like, what's up?
Hmm.
Like, and you may be at a point in your life where you really digging the person, but it's like, what's the rush? Like, let's really
Hmm.
just get to know each other.
Yeah.
hang out, have fun,
Yeah.
let like, and I think that definitely nowadays has kind of like went out the picture. I mean, most people will put sex and other stuff way, way ahead of even to know the person
I
well.
mean, what's wrong with that? Listen, let me
And
wait.
that
Let
and
me
that's another thing. And that's another thing
go ahead.
because a person could say to them that that won't mar or blur the lines.
Hmm.
I believe it won't either. I'm
Okay.
like you, like, hey, it happens, it happens. I mean,
Mhm.
it shouldn't blur the lines. But some people could have been in situations where it had blurred the lines. So
And
now
that's
they come in a situation and be like, just let's get to know each other for
and
nah,
that's
we
okay.
good. Like, yeah, I want to get to know you. We know
Yeah.
each other, but in the
Yeah.
meantime,
Meantime, yeah. And
yeah.
I mean, you know what? Either one's fine. People gotta do what works for them, right? At the end of the day. But no, yeah, I'm kind of like, yeah, sex. I don't know if there's such a thing as too early. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. Oh, so I pulled up a link that had some of the essential qualities, right,
Okay.
that people look for in a partner. So we have some of what you talked about: kindness, understanding, ability to communicate, loyalty, and we could do a whole show on loyalty. I have my own thoughts about loyalty. Um, Similarity, right? Like having things in common with one another. Being emotionally stable, that's a big one. Understanding that relationships take work. And I think just in general, right? Like looking at the values y'all share and kind of see if they line up. Like I know for me, so okay. So I'll share what is my thing for a good partner, right? So okay, so I want someone who's kind. I need someone who's intellectual. That's important. Um, Someone who is loving, considerate, thoughtful, and blah 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 blah, right? All those good things. However, and this is the thing I kind of want to ask your thoughts on. So one thing that's really important to me, and I understand that, you ask all the experts, this does not necessarily make a good partner, and I get that. But those other things for me are prerequisite, right? Like they just that's a given. Like those I want someone who's nice. I don't want someone who's abusive. Duh, right? But for me, chemistry and connection is extremely important. Like you could put a person in front of me who has all those qualities and I can't do
But
it.
let me ask you. I mean, sometimes chemistry has to grow. So you
I'm not
you
a
you
believer in chemistry growing. I'll be
you
honest
you
with you.
you you, you meet a person and it's like, okay, we got good chemistry, conversation's great, but then you may take the conversation somewhere else and it's no sexual chemistry. It's a little awkward, right? And
Mhm.
you be okay, that was the first time. And then it's like second, third time, be like, wow, we got chemistry. Our bodies connect. He knows how to make me feel good. She knows how to make me feel good. I believe that sometimes chemistry is, I won't say a work in progress. What makes you think when you know if it's
I
awkward?
know, trust me. And it's only happened a few times. It's only happened a few times in my life. But I have two categories typically. I have either, oh shit, something's here. Cool, let's explore, or you're nice, but no.
And
I
it's
don't
and it's
believe in
funny
chemistry growing.
because in my experiences, right, whenever it seemed like the chemistry was beautiful off the
Mhm,
door,
mhm.
them just turned into disaster relationships.
Oh, well, I mean, most relationships are disaster relationships. The majority of our relationships are not
No,
going to
no,
be
no.
long
Like,
lasting.
for example, right? I had, you get everybody to say, y'all got to work with us in the chat because we're having a discussion of that, right? So, I did the double back. Everybody say don't do the double back. Well,
Okay.
maybe she did the double back. Maybe I was the double back. But anyway,
Nope.
right? And the chemistry, we talking about 15 years not around each other,
Mhm. Okay.
and the chemistry picked up like
Crazy.
that.
Uh huh.
And it was more of We're older now.
Okay. Hmm.
So it was more of this was the vision for
Yeah.
back then
Yeah.
that we might have both had for each other as kids. And
Yeah.
now we're older. It's like, oh wow.
Hmm.
Chemistry was great,
Hmm.
great. And it was like a seamless
Okay.
transition.
Okay.
And even now, I'll be full transparent. Me and her are very good friends.
Hmm.
There's nothing going on. Ain't
Hmm.
nobody trying to do nothing.
Hmm.
But it's a genuine friendship.
Okay.
It's a genuine
Yeah.
friendship. But
Yeah.
like I said, but in the instances that I had chemistry from the door, one person, and I think maybe more it was like I'll be honest, it might have just been more like an attraction
Hmm.
type of thing, and it was like we attracted to each other. We know what it is. Let's
Hmm.
go. Let's go.
Hmm.
And it was more like leading up to us having sex,
Hmm.
to us having sex. Now, when you start to get to know the person, it's like,
That's fair.
I see how they move. They're like you said, emotionally unavailable,
Hmm.
emotional wreck,
Okay,
um, dumping their insecurities on you. So it
that's
was a
fair.
litany of
Yeah.
things, but
Yeah.
it just seemed like the beginning was like, as they say,
Hmm.
it was earth shattering
Yeah.
sex.
I got you. Yeah. Yeah.
It was earth shattering chemistry, and then it's like, oh, what happened?
Yeah. But I mean, even outside of sexually, you know what I mean? I think there's sexual chemistry, and then there's also just like oh, okay, something's
And
all
that, and that goes that
energy
goes
between
back to
us.
when where everybody say, "Oh, you didn't know the person. You knew you met their representatives." Nah, you
No,
didn't. Yeah,
I'm talking about an energy between two people.
yeah,
Because this is my thing.
yeah.
You can have like I've met men who are, in theory, on paper, they should be decent matches for me, but energy wise, I'm bored. I need spark. Listen, I told my sister the other day, people may feel how they feel, right? But I need Whitney Bobby level intensity when they
Yeah.
weren't too bad, when they weren't abusive toward each other.
And
Okay,
then and then
this is
look,
Whitney Bobby level love. Period. I need
that's
intensity.
that's crazy that you brought that up. Shout out to one of my homegirls, one of my sisters. She when I was in high school, the girl I was dealing with in high school, she used to always say that me and this girl were like Bobby and Whitney without the coke.
There you go. I want Bobby and Whitney without the coke love. There
Bobby
you
and Whitney.
go.
I mean, we were crazy, but
I need
any,
that. I
any
need that spark.
that
That
shit was
intensity has
crazy.
to be there.
It was crazy.
I
Rest in
can
peace. She
imagine.
passed. She passed away a few years ago. Rest in
Oh.
peace. Right. But when you think about it, when you think about what makes a good person, you just want that person to be being available. At
Yeah.
one time, Viv, I didn't really understand what the available thing meant,
Mhm. Like what that was about, right?
but now, as I've matured,
Hmm.
I know what being available means, yo.
Mm. Hmm.
And it's
Yeah.
just that. It's
Being
just
available, being
it's just
emotionally
that.
available,
Yo,
being
yo.
genuinely open
Even,
and able
even
to show
from
up.
even from outside of a partner, and I know that we use these words like partner,
Hmm.
um, in relationship. My cousin always tells me, he said, "You're in a relationship with everybody. Everybody you're friends with, you're in a relationship. Whether you're having sex with them or not, that's a relationship."
Yeah.
And that's his perspective that I always try to look at, because you have to nurture outside of physical.
Hmm.
You have to treat your friends basically the same way that you would treat the person that you're with outside of the sexual relation, like showing up, being there, like
Yes, when
like
needed.
okay, you don't put no expectation like 2 in the morning, I'm gonna call this person, but like shoot you a text. Yo, if we friends and I'm going through some stuff, it shouldn't take you eight
Oh,
hours to respond back.
yes. No, that's fair. That's fair.
Or it should be like, yo, if you get a chance, text me back. I wanna run some, or like me and you do, yo. I want to run something by you real quick.
Right.
So if I see a text and you say, yo, I want to run something by you real quick, you busy? I'll be like, oh, I'm not busy. What's up?
Right. Right.
That
Yeah.
means
Yeah.
everything stopped. I'm gonna be attentive to us.
Right. Right.
And you nurture that
Hmm.
friendship, that partnership,
Hmm.
and really like it falls under that line of what makes a good partner. I
Yeah.
mean, some people don't know how to be loyal. Some people don't know how to be attentive to other people's needs. They don't.
Yes, that is fair. Loyalty. That's a whole nother discussion. Remember that because we need to talk about that as a topic because it's a word I've always struggled with. So that's a whole topic.
See
But,
the and I already know why you struggle with the word.
okay.
It means something different to everybody,
Okay. That's fair.
and it goes into, like I said, my definition and my understanding.
Hmm.
You may not agree with it, and
Hmm.
I may be having expectation
Hmm.
on you that you don't even understand what that definition means.
Hmm.
That's not your
That's
definition.
fair.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so you bugging. Like, why
Yeah.
would you expect me to do this, and third
Mhm.
when I don't even think like that. And that goes back to understanding people and getting to understand people for who they truly are.
Yes.
Like,
But there's so much beauty in that. I do wish you talked about people not having patience. I do wish people put more value on taking their time because there is so much beauty in feeling like, oh, I think I like this person. And then finding out something about them that might really be an insecurity for them and being like, I accept you anyway. There is so much beauty, even if it is
one
on
of
like
one of
friends
one of
level, there's so much beauty
one
in
of the one
what
of
that
the most
relationship looks
one of
like.
the most interesting movies that we all watched when we were younger.
Hmm.
And I always talk about this when I talk about relationships, right? Waiting to exhale.
Hmm.
Everybody has an opinion about this movie because this movie touched on a lot of different things. Some people feel like it was a man bash movie. To each his own. I loved Wesley Snipes in that movie because he met someone and he had no problem telling her
Oh
that
yes.
he was married
Hmm.
and that his wife was dying. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like,
Hmm.
I know it's a movie. It could probably be happening in real life, but sometimes that type of transparency, that type of, as the people say nowadays, keep it real.
Hmm.
Sometimes when you keep it real like that, it's genuine. It's more
Hmm.
genuine. It's more understanding. It's more
Yeah.
okay. It's this is you could be so attracted to somebody and be like,
Mhm.
yo, we got great chemistry, and then yeah, you might feel like the shoe dropped and they
Mhm.
told you something that it's like okay,
Yeah.
and now it's a friend zone type of thing,
Mhm.
but you respect them.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, nowadays you respect them so much just for being honest,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's like, well, that person didn't have to tell me that,
Mhm.
but they told me that, knowing that what they told me
Yeah.
that could jeopardize. So I know that they're not coming to me with selfish intentions.
Mhm.
One of my good friends, when she was dating,
Mhm.
she used to always tell people when they would try to holler at her, the
Mhm.
first thing she would say to them is, "What's your intentions for me?"
Okay.
And this is my girl, right?
Very
We
upfront.
we super tight.
Mhm.
They would always drop the ball. Most guys would drop the ball
Mhm.
because they would be confused with the question.
I'm sure.
And she would always say to me like, "Yo, Q, like, they need to tell me what their intentions is. Like, what do you expect from me? Like, what do you want me to do? Why are you hollering at me?"
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And now with the age of social media, even when people would send her friend requests, she'd be like, "Who you? What are like what? I don't accept random people."
Well, I mean
And
that
it's
makes sense.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Mhm.
she's an influencer, but she didn't certain she don't influence on all her social media. So this one
Okay.
social media account she got was more personal,
Mhm. Mhm.
friends, people she meet that she decided to put in her immediate circle. So I thought that was interesting, and we need to have that type of transparency, that
Mhm.
type of honesty, because why? And I'm speaking from the aspect of my grandparents were together
Mhm.
forever.
Mhm.
My grandfather, my grandmother got sent from Georgia to Chicago.
Mhm.
My grandfather went and got his woman,
Mhm.
had 3 kids.
Yeah.
They moved to New Jersey, had 4 more kids.
Okay.
So, and was together until she passed. My grandmother passed away. So
Okay.
why he didn't have? He had a third grade education.
Mhm.
My grandfather he had 2 very good jobs, but two
Okay.
jobs. Worked at factory. Worked
Mhm.
at the Ford company.
Mhm.
She was a nurse.
Okay.
Like 7 kids. Like when you look at all of the reasons that people have nowadays why they're not together, my grandparents had all those reasons, all those obstacles right in their face.
That's
So
that's a whole nother podcast
yeah,
topic
so
too.
so when you talk about she had all the reasons to leave. Just put it that way. She had all the reasons to give up, all the reasons to say, "Damn this guy."
Mhm.
You know, and typical like most people nowadays. You know, we give up. I believe we give up too easy.
I think women just have. I honestly think it's the difference from my perspective. Women have more autonomy now. That's what it was back then. Many of them, you had some who were very bold and really lived out loud in a way that really was not permissible or that was looked down upon for most women back then. So many, I'm not saying your grandmother, I'm just saying many women were in situations that they did not feel they could get away from. Nowadays, women don't have to stay.
And
So I
that
think that's the big
and that
difference.
right there is why the topic that you decide for us to have this conversation
Mhm,
is important because you need to understand, not you,
mhm.
we need to all
Yeah.
understand that that person is your life partner. Two
Yes.
people who are imperfect trying to live a perfectly life together.
Hmm.
It's
And that
almost,
person needs to
yeah,
understand that they
yeah,
signed up to be my life
yes,
partner, and they need to not
yes.
bring me a whole lot of
And
strife.
y'all imperfect.
Yeah,
Y'all got your
together.
faults. You
Yeah.
got your hangups. So you got to understand, like, okay, that's where this person is at. All
Mhm.
right, but I want this person to know that I'm here. I'm
Right.
down with them, and I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah.
But just know that I'm here. Don't
Hmm.
yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here if you need me.
Not I'm here if you need me. Yeah.
And then vice versa. Be able to understand that y'all in the fight together. The fight
Yeah.
to live life, have peace.
Hmm. Yeah.
I know some people are very needy, so
Hmm.
they like to be around the person they're with. I think that when you're with somebody, you got to tell that person from the door, like, look, I'm not a needy person, or
Hmm.
I am a needy person. I like a lot of attention. You
I
know,
agree. To make that clear, yes.
that
Because
that's that's one thing I think most people miss out on is like tell that person those type of things. Like some people like gifts. Be like, look, I like a lot of attention. I'm just speaking from a guy. Some females, I never forget. I bought a girl a whole bunch of gifts. Man, we were kids. Her father took all that shit.
oh,
It was like, yo, you need to ask me first before you give my daughter some gifts. I don't
yeah.
know. I told my uncles. I told my uncles, and they like, it don't mean nothing by it. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, look,
Yeah.
yeah,
But gifts is a love language. People
but
need
it
to throw
but
it
it
out there.
was
My
more of
love language is gifts. Okay. So
it was more of her father just wanted that respect. I
yes,
think,
I'm sure.
and
She
he
was
didn't
young.
say no. He just like you just ask me.
Yeah.
You bought my daughter all this stuff. I'm like okay, okay.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And then it was a backstory there. Her stepmother and my uncle had dealt with each other years ago, and he
Oh,
knew
okay.
and he knew who I was. I didn't know
Oh,
who he was.
got you.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
He
um,
wasn't having it. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I
So
mean, I think so. I think we're on the same page with like thinking that a good partner is emotionally available, kind, understanding, um, and overall accepting. You know what I mean? Barring anything crazy. I think those are important. But like I said, chemistry, maybe that's in a whole nother show we can do too. Because that's a big discussion about whether chemistry grows. How long do you give it? What are we waiting for? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I think that's important because
and
to me, all the, a man could
and
fly me. I
then
always say, fly me to Dubai. If I am not feeling connected to him like that, I don't care. It's
and
thank
then
you.
then it could be
But it's
like
nothing
like
for me.
like like I'll just look at me and your personality, right? Um, you're an introvert.
Hmm.
That's your personality.
Hmm.
Until you get to know certain people, you'll conversate with them.
A
You're
little.
like people that you're cool with. For us to do what we do, you'll conversate with me, and you can have some of the most craziest
Oh
conversations,
yeah, oh
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm on the other hand, is a little different. I am. I'm liable to say anything around anybody. You'll
Okay.
see my social media
I know.
behavior.
Hmm. Hmm.
You'll be like, so most people will see me and be like, damn, this is the same guy that be posting this stuff. I'm totally private when like
Hmm.
totally private when I'm around you. I'm the type I won't do a lot of talking.
Mm,
We
okay.
around each other. We around each other. We around each other. We'll talk. But other than that, I'm laid back.
Okay.
Um, and I've always been that way until I
Hmm.
really because to me, I just use social media, and I know to everybody don't say it. I know I told everybody social media just to throw it away when you're looking for the good partner, but for me, I'm a different person outside of social media.
Hmm.
Social media allows me to be who I am, but not that's layered. I mean,
Okay.
if I'm around you now, we talking about I'm giving you my time.
Hmm. Hmm.
My shit precious.
It's,
It's only
it's
24
fair.
hours in a day. It's
Yep.
only 24 hours in a day. So if I'm giving you my time,
Yeah,
that
that
means
means
you
something.
special.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because as an introvert, I could be by myself and be
Hell yes. Leave
and be
me the
good.
fuck alone. I could
Yeah,
be in my place. So
yeah.
yes, and I agree with that because that's one thing for me. Even in dating, like I typically have a rule, like, and I think it has rubbed some men more recently the wrong way because I'm very much like, oh, on the weekends, like, okay, let's figure out Saturday and Sunday, and then I end up not being able to see people because if I have rehearsals, da da da. Very rarely do I allow, if I even allow a man in my place. That's a whole other thing, right? But very rarely will I make time for you during the week because I'm so drained by the end of the day. So you have to be real special to me for me to even say, okay, I'm gonna get off work,
And don't bullshit
get
around.
myself together,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
allow you to come over here. Because
yeah.
other than that, bro,
And
Saturday,
and
Sunday, that's
and
it.
and listen, use the time wisely
Mhm.
because
Right.
it ain't gonna be often. And I think that
Hmm.
having those conversations and having those, and it goes back to like we talked about with the patience and really people um, getting to know each other, getting
Yeah.
to really. You know how it goes when you get to a point sometimes in relationships where you know what somebody's thinking.
Hmm.
You just know. You could be out with them and you're in the store, y'all navigating through the store, and you could just know their thoughts and just how other people move, knowing your surroundings.
Hmm.
It takes time. It
Hmm.
takes time,
It does.
and I think that a lot of times those type of things, those little things, are taken for granted.
I agree. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. That's very fair.
Being able how to navigate that stuff. So, um,
Yeah. No, I agree though.
yeah, you guys in the chat, I lost 10 pounds. I lost 10 pounds from stop drinking coffee. Every show for 3 years, I would always drink a cup of coffee for 3 years.
Hmm.
Every show, and I stopped about 4 months ago
Okay.
from drinking coffee during the show. I'm drinking this cup of coffee because today been a long day. So
Okay.
I drink a cup
Do
of coffee, I drink water. So every time you see this cup, that means there's coffee in it because I
do
don't
you
drink, you
drink
guys.
do you drink coffee like in the like throughout the day, or is it just that one
I
time?
it, I might drink it out today, but I just cut back from that one cup during every show,
Got you. Okay.
and I lost 10 pounds.
Congratulations. Good for you.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't. That wasn't the intention.
No, that's what's up though.
I just stopped drinking it.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, I got weighed and I was like 10
That's
pounds.
amazing. That's
I
the perks
stopped
of
doing
being a
it.
man. I've been freaking eating peppers and cucumbers and hummus and shit for lunch. And the scale's like, nah, bitch, we not moving. The perks of being a man. Any woman out there understands what I'm saying.
Yeah. And that's the tricky part because,
Oh
most
man.
most men like a little meat on them bones, but women
Well,
be like, nah,
we be trying to get rid
thighs
of
start
it.
rubbing and stuff start rubbing like it's too much, and I'm getting older, and you don't see what I see. Dudes be like, I love it.
We appreciate the love, fellas. We do. We do. We appreciate the love.
But anything else you want to add to, really?
Um,
It seems like we're missing out on something, right?
well, I think it probably needs to be I think it's another discussion because I
Okay.
think Um, I mean, I think we definitely hit like some of the general stuff that makes a good partner, right? But then I think it's the chemistry discussion, right? Because I mean, different people have different, like you said, you kind of feel it grows. I don't agree with that. I think that's a whole nother discussion we need to have. And I think that we probably need to have more discussion about um,
Loyalty.
loyalty, but also even like what we call deal breakers, right? Because
Hmm.
that's a fine line too. I mean, some people really have what they call deal breakers, and there's nothing wrong with that. And it's like, I mean, there's a discussion in that. Like, should
Yeah.
people be flexible?
So
Is
you
it worth
guys, so
being
you
flexible?
guys in the chat, this is pre-recorded, but anyway, um, tell us in the chat, tell us in the comments
Yeah.
what you guys think, what we should discuss next about it. It's very
Hmm.
important. Um,
Hmm.
one of the things that I and Viv would probably both tell you when you do a show, when you do a podcast, when you're interacting with the audience in this type of format,
Yeah.
oh, it's so much better.
Hmm.
The audience, the questions are very intriguing.
Yeah.
So I'll probably be watching. Viv has something to do when we do play this,
Yeah.
but I'll be watching and interacting. So let us know, keep
Yeah.
us informed, and we'll be joining you guys again soon next
We
time.
will.
Hold on, Viv.
But
Don't go nowhere.
okay.
Until then, you guys, ooh, take care and have a
Take
great
care,
night.
y'all.